broadcasting from Toronto, Canada. I am Elsa Abraham, and in this episode we are bringing you editorial. Here is your headline: Ethiopia Tigray crisis update. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that short break. Now, Ethiopia Tigray crisis update. Before fighting broke out in late 2020, the Tigray region in northern Ethiopia was home to around 5.5 million people, according to UN estimates. This includes more than 100,000 internally displaced people and 96,000 refugees who were already dependent on food assistance. Since early November 2020, the terrible violence across Tigray was forced people to leave their homes, some becoming displaced again, having been displaced already, for precarious living situations within Tigray and over the border in Sudan. In September 2020, local group, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the TPLF, which dominated Ethiopia's government until their removal from Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's party in 2019, held regional elections in the Tigray region, northern Ethiopia. Elections in Tigray were held despite the constitutional postponement of the national elections due to COVID-19. As a result, tensions between TPLF and the national government escalated and eventually resulted in a full-blown conflict following an alleged attack on a major Ethiopian army base on 4th November 2020. Ethiopia's Prime Minister ordered military actions against the TPLF, with fighting breaking out across the region. The conflict has now led to hundreds of thousands of people being displaced, wounded, raped, killed. Some within Tigray finding shelter where they can in host communities. Others have made their journey over the border to Sudan, where they are now refugees. An estimated number of 1.3 million people are in need of assistance. The current situation in Tigray: people have fled their homes across the region as are now trying to find shelter where they can elsewhere. Tens and thousands of people have arrived in Shire, a large town in the zone of the northwest Tigray. Most have fled with few possessions, many just with their clothes on their backs. In Shire, the majority stay with the host community, but 20,000 people live in informal sites. They sleep in cramped and often unhygienic conditions in the classrooms of several schools, as well as campuses of the Shire University. Shelter, clean water and food are all in short supply. A 6:30 p.m. curfew. A 6 p.m. curfew has been imposed on the town, making movements to seek medical care after these hours very difficult. Access to healthcare is also very limited. Our teams in Tigray have documented evidence of widespread targeted attacks on healthcare facilities across the region. Of 106 facilities accessed between mid-December and early of March, 87% were no longer functioning or fully functioning. Looting of facilities is widespread and most staff have left. The once well-functioning healthcare system in Tigray has almost completely collapsed. Now in Sudan, as of mid-February 2021, more than 60,000 refugees have been registered by the UN in Sudan. However, MSF teams estimated that some 10,000 to 12,000 refugees are still scattered in and around the border town of Hamdayet. Here, people are supposed to be relocated to refugee camps within 72 hours, but some have been there for months. Humanitarian assistance in the border town remains substandard. refugees are living in unhygienic and appalling conditions where their basic needs, foods, water, sanitation, shelter, are being barely met. This situation is taking a toll on people, severely affecting their physical and mental health. From Hamdayet, people are being slowly relocated to Rakuba and Al Tanideba, the two permanent camps in Gadaref state, southern of Sudan. As of mid-February, around 20,000 refugees have been moved in Rakuba, and more than 17,000 refugees have been relocated to Al Tanideba. The conditions in the camps are quite poor. And in eastern Tigray, MSF is supporting the hospital in Adigrat, which had partially stopped functioning. Medical teams are running the hospital's emergency room, as well as medical, surgical, and pediatric and maternity wards. They are also providing outpatient care for children under 5. MSF have also started a program providing mental health solutions and activities, supporting 7 health centers in the area where they run mobile clinics. Teams are also trying to reach more health centers in the rural areas. In central Tigray, in the towns of Adwa and Axum, they are also providing some of the displaced and local people with basic health care. In Adwa, supporting Don Bosco Hospital and 4 health centers with essential supplies, including medicines. In Axum, supporting the hospital and 4 health centers with essential supplies, including medicines and food for patients. In the town of Abi Adi, west of Mekelle, a team is supporting the health center with medical assistance. In the northwest zone and western Tigray, in Shire, they are also supporting the hospital and have given donations of goods to several health centers in the town. We are providing also an estimated 30,000 displaced people in the Shire with water and sanitation and relief items, such as cooking and hygiene kits. The teams are also providing medical care via mobile clinics located at their displaced people sites in Shire, where people live in a university and 2 old school buildings. In the town of the Sheraro, where they are also providing support to the health center there and facilitate emergency referrals in there. The MSF is also supporting health centers in over 10 locations in villages in the areas around the Shire and the Shiraro, in the towns of Mai Kadra, Humera, and the Abdurafi. The MSF is also provided support for some health centers and has been assisting around 2,000 internally displaced people by providing medical services, supplying water, sanitation, and hygiene products, and constructing emergency latrines after the fighting started. In southern Tigray, MSF teams have run mobile clinics and restarted some services at health centers in the towns of the Hiwane and the Adi Kaye, alongside staff from the Ministry of Health, until the mid of January. Now in Sudan, Hamdayet, at the border crossing in Hamdayet, the teams are provided medical care, health promotion, mental health consultations, nutrition, screening, and water and sanitation services to help people who have crossed the border. At the Hashaba camp as well, at the border camp in Hashaba, they have provided medical consultations, including support for reproductive health and then health promotion activities. On and on in the Hashaba camp as well. In the Rakuba, MSF runs a clinic where they offer medical consultations, screen people for signs of malnutrition, and help patients with non-communicable diseases such as diabetes. They also support reproductive health for pregnant women and new mothers and provide mental health consultations. Running a mobile clinic on a weekly basis in Rakuba village to provide medical care to the Amara people who are staying in the village. The most dominant health issues treated by these people are bloody diarrhea, urinary tract infections, as well as some cases of malaria. The MSF teams are in the process of building a field hospital with 30 beds and 10 additional isolation beds for transmissible diseases. At the Al Tanideba, they screen arrivals at the reception area of the camp for their health needs, providing treatment as needed. They are also providing water and sanitation, basic healthcare vaccinations, malnutrition screening, and are supporting maternity services. The MSF is currently building an inpatient clinic which will have a ward each for women, men, and children. The clinic will treat severely malnourished children and maternity department. Medical services provided by in the camp are for both refugees and the host community. This is where we end today's episode on editorial. You can also help people who are in such crisis by donating on our GoFundMe link down below in the section. You can just take the description there, follow the link, and then fill in the form with all your instructions, and you can also donate your money to support each and every member that is suffering in the Tigray crisis as well. This is where we end today's episode. Thanks so much for watching.